Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm Janice.
And I recently developed a habit of knitting socks and trying out different sock patterns and thought that I should make a guide of knitting socks.
Knitting socks at first might seem a little bit overwhelming since there's a lot of areas that you need to be careful of, whether it's doing increases or decreases every other row, or doing which type of decrease on which side of the sock, so on and so forth. But once you get the hang of it, knitting socks can be somehow a no-brainer.
First step, casting on. We will first leave a long tail on the left side, the working yarn on the right side. Then we first put the needle facing down, then twist upwards. This is the first stitch. Next, we will hold the long tail on the thumb, working yarn on the index finger. Then the needle under the long tail, turn it upwards, put the needle through the working yarn, go back to the long tail and then tighten the loop. The key here is to leave a bit of room in between stitches, like so. Then continue casting on until you have 56 stitches. Or if you like to make a different size, just keep in mind that the number of stitches is a multiple of 4. I've tried a stretchy cast on but realized that the long tail cast on is faster, easier, and most importantly, stretchier. For the cuff, there are 2 ways to do it. The one on the left is single ribbing, and the one on the right is double ribbing. I like doing double ribbing as it gives more elasticity and adds more texture. In this video, I will be doing the double ribbing. Double ribbing is very simple. You just do 2 knit stitches, 2 purl stitches, and then repeat until the end of the row. The first row is always the most tricky to knit. It feels like the stitches and needles are everywhere, but once you finish the first row, everything will become smoother. For the pattern, I'm showing you the simplest one, is to do double ribbing all the way through. I'm just continuing knit 2, purl 2, and repeating till I reach the length that I want. For this sock, I knitted 5 rows of ribbing and 40 rows of the sock leg. For the heel, we will only be knitting the first 28 stitches, or the first half of whatever number of stitches you began with. For the first row, slip a stitch purlwise. Knit 1, slip a stitch purlwise, knit 1, then continue till end of row. Once you reach the end of the row, flip over the project and slip a stitch purlwise, then purl all the way through. Repeat the above 2 rows, odd number rows being the slip 1, knit 1, and the even number rows being slip 1, purl all the way through, till you finish row 34. After you knitted row 34, begin with row 1, flip to the right side, slip 1, knit 16, Do an SSK decrease, knit one more. You now have 8 stitches left. Flip. This is row 2. Slip 1, purl until you have 11 stitches left. Purl 2 together, purl 1. You now have 8 stitches left. Row 3. Slip 1, knit until 9 stitches left. SSK, knit 1. You now have 6 stitches left. Flip the project. Continue the pattern with leaving 2 stitches less than the previous row until there are no more stitches left on the left needle. After that, you should have a flat side looking like this. It will be the part where your heel touches the floor. For the next part, we will want to knit all the stitches evenly placed on 2 needles. First of all, starting from the heel part where we have 18 stitches, I will be using a separate needle and knit 9 stitches on it. Then leave the needle aside and take out another needle to knit the remaining 9 stitches. After that, place the row counter. Next, we will be picking up 18 stitches from the heel part. If you flip the project a little bit, you will see the top section of the stitches as 17 rows of V's. We will be inserting our needle through the V, yarn over the working yarn, pull up the stitch, continue for the remaining 16 stitches from the V's. The 18th stitch will be done differently. If we go ahead and continue knitting the sock leg part, there will be a hole in between. And to minimize the hole, we will be picking up one final stitch in between, wherever it feels right and as long as you're picking up 2 yarns. Place a stitch marker. Then continue knitting the sock leg pattern, only knitting half of the stitches. In this case, knit only 14 stitches. Once you're done knitting this side, you should have 9 stitches from the heel, 18 stitches from the gusset, and 14 stitches of the leg pattern. Then take out another needle, continue knitting the 14 stitches of the leg pattern. Place a stitch marker. Then pick up a stitch between the pattern and gusset. Make sure that your needle passes through 2 yarns. Then pick up 17 stitches from the V's in the gusset. Then, place a stitch marker and knit the remaining 9 stitches. The second row and all even number rows, we will be doing decreasing. On the right side of the sock. The decreases will be the 2 stitches right before we reach the leg pattern. We will be doing an SSK decrease. And on the left side of the sock, we will be doing knit 2 stitches together decrease, right after we finish the leg pattern on the left side. We will be doing the decreases on every other row, and they will all be even number rows. Once our total number of stitches reaches 56, we can stop doing the decreases. For the foot part, we will be knitting without any increases or decreases until we reach the length that we want. I wear a Euro size 37.5, and for this part, I usually knit around 35 to 40 rows. This depends on the stretchiness and thickness of the yarn that I'm working on. For the toe part, we will be doing 4 decreases on every other row. First, we remove the row counter from the original place, knit 5. Remove the stitch marker and replace it with the row counter. Then knit 1, do a knit 2 together decrease, then knit the remaining stitches on the needle. On the second needle, knit 11. Where we will reach the last 3 stitches before the stitch marker. Do an SSK decrease, then knit 1. Move the stitch marker to the right needle, then knit 1 and knit 2 together decrease. Then continue the remaining stitches on the needle. On the other needle, we will knit until we reach the last 3 stitches before the row counter. Do an SSK decrease. Then knit 1. The decrease row is done. We will be doing decreases on every other row, and they will all be on odd number rows. We will continue this pattern until we reach 24 stitches in total. For the last part, we will be doing a Kitchener stitch for the casting off. This is how you do it. First, we will hold the 2 needles, one in the front and one in the back. We will then transfer the 6 stitches on the left side of the counter to the back needle. And then transfer the 6 stitches after the stitch marker to the front needle. After that, we will see the toe part when it's laid flat. Then we will leave around 30 centimeters of the yarn and cut the remaining off. Take out your tapestry needle and thread through the first stitch in the front needle. Remove the first stitch from the needle, then thread through the second stitch purlwise. Keep the stitch on the needle, then thread through the first stitch on the back needle purlwise. Remove the first stitch from the needle, thread through the second stitch knitwise, and keep the stitch on the back needle. Repeat with threading through the first stitch in the front needle, removing the first stitch from the needle, and continue with the sequence. Once you're done, poke the loose thread back into the inside part of the sock and tie a knot. Once it's secure, just cut off the thread and it's done. Here's a close-up of the sock. Here's the toe part. The gusset part, the heel part. With the basic structure of knitting socks learned, instead of just knitting double ribbing for the leg part, we can create so many other different patterns. Just make sure that the patterns are multiples of 4, but here's a cable knit pattern, an eyelet pattern, a diamond pattern, and another cable knit pattern. Just switch out the double ribbing pattern mentioned in the leg pattern part, and you'll be able to get unlimited patterns of socks. The last part of this video is for people who might not have sock needles handy. It is called the magic loop method. Starting with a circular needle, we split the project in half, with the first half in the front needle and the second half in the back needle, leaving the long circular wire in between the project. First, we will pull the back needle towards yourself. Pull until you have enough working space. Then continue knitting until you reach the end of the stitches on this side of the needle. After that, flip the project. Pull the wire until the needle reaches the stitches. Then repeat with pulling the back needle towards yourself until you have enough working space, and continue knitting. Thank you all for watching till the end. I hope this video is helpful and informative.
If there's anything that I didn't mention or you think it would be helpful to mention, please let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.